everyone, welcome to Link Frequency and I'm Aishwarya Patta. From smartphones, electric vehicles, medical devices to smart television and industrial automation, they all use embedded systems. It acts as an invisible backbone to the modern technology. The demand for embedded system engineer is rising steadily. The global embedded system market is expected to grow from 100 billion USDs in 2023 to 161 billion USDs by 2030. With a CAGR of 7.1%, which is according to the Fortune Business Insights. If you have been working 1 or 2 years in this particular domain, then this is the right time for you to upgrade your skills. With the solid foundation already in place, you're in the right position to focus on the skills that will help you become a high-value embedded engineer. Here are 5 tips to upskill in the embedded system. I will be discussing or covering about why the skill is important and how to start learning the skill. So without any further delay, let's begin. The first skill is understand about debugging and tracing. Learn to debug with JTAG, trace tools or any logic analyzers. Use breakpoints and watch points like a pro while debugging. Let's understand why the skill is important. Debugging is where the real embedded engineering begins. Most bugs in the embedded systems are timing-related, memory corruption, stack overflow, or hardware interface issues, which are generally not captured using the print statements. Industry expects the engineer to debug the firmware independently, especially in the production-level systems. Now let's understand where to start with. You can start with any tool or technique. Build a hands-on experience in it. For example, use JTAG. Learn to set the breakpoints, watch points, step into or step over functions. Check the live peripheral status using the ID or register view. Now let's move on to our second skill, that is nothing but understand memory layout and optimization. Embedded system runs on the microcontroller with limited RAM and flash. When an embedded program runs, it is divided into well-defined sections such as text, data, BSS, stack, heap, and arrow data. Now let's understand why this skill is important. The first one is limited memory in embedded systems. Many microcontrollers have very few KB of RAM and flash. Efficient memory use ensures your application fits and runs reliably. The second point is to prevent runtime errors and system crash. Misconfigured memory can lead to unexpected behavior and also system resets. The last point is optimize code and resource usage. You can shrink your firmware by removing unused data or code and also properly placing the constants in the flash. Now let's understand where to start with. Create the linker scripts, that is .ld or .icf files, which basically defines the memory sections used. After compiling, check the map files. Inspect the .map file to see how much RAM or flash each section uses and also spot the memory hogging variables or functions. The last point is to use optimized data types, that is, use uint8 instead of uint32 wherever necessary, and also avoid using floats and large buffers. Well, let's move ahead and try to understand the third skill, that is nothing but learn how to read datasheet and reference manual. In embedded systems, the hardware and the software go hand in hand. The datasheet or the reference manual are the primary source of information about the microcontroller or the peripherals. Not even YouTube or not even the Stack Overflow. Now let's see what the datasheet includes. Datasheet has the pinout details such as which pins are to be configured as GPIOs, ADCs, etc. It also includes the operating voltage ranges, clock configurations and power consumptions in different modes. Moving on to the reference manual. It includes the bit description. Every register bit is described here. It includes what it does, default value, read and write behavior. It also includes the interrupt mapping, which is nothing but which IRQ number corresponds to which peripheral. Now let's try to understand why this skill is important. These documents are officially the guidebooks for knowing what your controller can do and learn how to configure the peripherals. Get to know the exact register address and also the bit that has to be set to make things work. Lastly, making the power and timing decisions which might impact the system performance. Moving on, now let's try to understand where to start with. Start with the microcontrollers that you have already used or want to learn. For example, Atmega 328P, which is used in Arduino Uno, or ESP32, which is used for IoT and Wi-Fi. Don't try to read everything in one go. Instead, pick a small portion and try to understand it. For example, what it does, how it does, and what are the block diagrams, resistors, pinouts, and so on. Well, let us move on to our fourth skill, that is nothing but improved version control. Almost all companies and startups use Git. Engineers who know Git are considered industry-ready and most effective in team-based roles. Now, let us try to understand why this skill is important. Git keeps complete history of your code and also all the previous versions. You can revert the changes, compare versions, and also recover the lost code easily. Git also handles the merge conflict, feature branch, and integration pipelines very smoothly. Multiple developers can work on the same project simultaneously. Every commit is linked to the user or the person who has developed the code, which becomes helpful during the audit and code review. Git integrates with the build systems like Jenkins and GitHub Actions to run automatic build checks, unit test scripts, and code quality analysis. Well, let's move ahead and understand where to start with. Firstly, you can start with very basic Git commands. Try using the commands such as git clone, git log, git status, git commit, git amend, and so on. Then you can try to create the branches and work on it. Lastly, you can try to understand what exactly is git merge and also what exactly is git rebase options. Well, let us discuss about the fifth skill, that is improved documentation skills. In the embedded systems, you are often dealing with the hardware and the firmware in the project all at once, which might seem complex. And having a proper documentation and process makes it easier. Now let's try to understand why this skill is important. In the embedded world, documentation is not just for others but for your future self. Let's consider like this. What happens when you or your team member revisit a piece of code after 6 months? During that time, your documentation skills come to focus. Your code explains what the system does, and your documentation explains why and how the system does it. So this is what makes you a high-value engineer. Well, now let us understand where to start with. Start small, that is by adding detailed description to the function and also by creating README files. Then write a short usage instructions for your modules. Later, make the documentation for the peripheral configurations clearly so that it will help you during the debugging. Lastly, you can keep track of all the positive and negative test cases that has to be performed in one particular document. Well, these are the 5 skills that can help you upgrade in the embedded system domain. You can comment below if there are any more skills that you want to add on to the list. I hope you find this particular video insightful. For any queries, you can surely comment below in the comment section. Until we meet on our next video, happy learning. Tune yourself to make a difference.